Hi, I'm Kenneth Sprague, and I'm a junior majoring in finance here at the University of Akron. I had the pleasure, along with my teammates Jeff, Michael, and Jacob, to go down to Marietta, Ohio to interview several of the executives at People's Bank. People's Bank was founded in 1902 in Marietta, Ohio, which is a small town at the southeast corner of Ohio, where the Ohio and Muskingum rivers collide. People's Bank has the distinction of surviving not only the Great Depression as well as the Great Recession, but also having a 115-year history. And that longevity, combined with particularly strong growth in the very recent past, has really driven us to wonder what they've done right. And one of the things that they've done very well has been having good leadership and a solid succession plan to back that up. So in this report, we're planning to discuss a little bit about the actual practices that they have for succession planning, for recruiting and development, as well as some of the actual performance that we can see indicates that they're doing an excellent job with that.
So I started here in 1997. I started as the bank's loan review officer. Then I moved into a role of credit administration manager. About 9 months ago, I was promoted to chief credit officer. So that is the top function of the credit operation.
Coming here was great to be able to get things done. This company needed help. I was able to come in with a good background to help. This is a company with a meaningful insurance business, a meaningful investment business. I had background there, and I was able to help on the credit side. In terms of the recession, it was a problematic time for the company. The company changed management. Credit quality was not good. Basic fundamentals were not adhered to, and the company paid the price for that. I think we've got the company back on track. We have, built a high level of capital. We put in a lot of discipline, policies, procedures, and practices that have improved the credit quality.
One of the things we're passionate about as an organization is giving back to the communities. I don't know how much time you guys have spent in southeastern Ohio in our markets, Kentucky, West Virginia. They're some pretty depressed markets, just to be honest with you. I say that because we can make a meaningful difference in those communities. You look at some of the highest poverty rates in the U.S. That's where we're banking at. We can take $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, which may not be a huge amount to the company, and give it back to a community, to help with hunger, to help with things like that, and it can really change people's lives.
So 15 also would have had one-time cost for the MB&T acquisition that was done early 15. So you incur costs when you do all that to convert and pay people and severance costs, etc. So those costs were in there, so those came out as well. But then you had a full year of revenue from MB&T in 16. And there were initiatives to do things to increase earnings, grow some revenue, cut expenses.
Our aspirations are to get the bank performing to like a 115 to 120 ROA. We've been in the neighborhood of 95 to 1%, which is okay. It's average for the $1 to $10 billion bank. We don't aspire to be average, so we'd like to see improvements in that. Some of that is going to come from loan growth. Most of it's going to come from this positive operating leverage, and some of it's going to come from acquisition. Our strategy is to have good, strong organic growth, so if we can grow the businesses on our own, and to supplement that with acquisitions. From an organic growth standpoint, we've been able to grow loans in the 7-8% level over the last 5 years. We've been able to grow revenues in a similar range. And we've been able to develop positive operating leverage, growing the expenses less than that. So we've been able to improve the earnings. We still have work to do there. We still need to do better. We have done 6 bank acquisitions. We've done numerous, more than that, in insurance acquisitions. We've done a few investment acquisitions. We will continue to do acquisitions.
I've been with the bank about 10 and a half years now. I'm sure you guys have probably heard some discussion about the bank's professional development program.
Yeah.
I actually came in through the bank's professional development program about 2 years ago. Chuck came to me and said, what do you think about doing something outside of the investment world? And we talked, and he proposed HR. So 2 years later, here we are. Been the director of HR for about a year and a half now. We're passionate about developing that future leadership for the company. The professional development program is one way that we do that, by bringing entry-level college graduates in. I think when the program started, when I came into it, almost 11 years ago, they went to Ohio University, they went to just a handful of local colleges, but Sandra's really reaching out across the tri-state region, at a number of different colleges, looking to get the best and brightest from across the footprint to join the bank. But that's really just the beginning. After we've recruited talent, it's then getting them in and getting them up and running. It's a great program. You're going to cover approximately, you'll be in the program approximately 12 to 16 months, getting a wide experience across the entire.
I've seen there's been several individuals that I know of that are here now. That started out, a couple in professional development roles where they start with the bank right out of college and move through a rotation type role within the bank. So they rotate through the different departments and end up in a permanent role. And then, after they're in that permanent role, they've moved into different and higher levels throughout the bank. So I think, we really strive to promote from within. So I think it's good for the bank.
I do believe that in the next 5 years, we will do much less external hiring than we have done in the last 5 years. We have in-house, I'm sure our next CFO is in-house. I'm sure our next chief credit officer is in-house. I'm sure there are things that we're going to have to go outside for, but a lot less in the next few years than we have in the last 5 years. At all different levels. We hire kids out of college, and we hire mid-level professionals, we hire senior people, and it's that combination that I think makes the company stronger. First off, we've got a good, strong board, and it continually refreshes itself. And I've been very pleased at how it's developed over my tenure. Succession, picking the CEO, managing the CEO, and succession are, probably their biggest, one of the 2 biggest things that they do. So, we have a succession plan. It's actively managed. We review it on an annual basis in detail. We probably spend time talking through the top 25 to 30 professionals in the company and what succession looks like for them and what development looks like for them. We're proud of the fact that we have 4 females on our board. That's very unusual. Females are underrepresented on boards in general, which makes no sense to me. I think that the role of a community bank board has changed and is in the process of change. Historically, people who are on community bank boards were large customers or who's who in the community or in the market, and the movement is much more to skills. So who is the financial expert? Who has an understanding of cyber? Who has an understanding of emerging technologies? So that is kind of an indication of what you're looking for. It's really the skills and the background.